Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Learning English with Podcast Conversation. I'm your host, Tony. It's great to have you with us again today. We've got a really interesting and, I think, very important topic to talk about.
And I'm Jenny. Hi, Tony. Hi, everyone. I'm really excited about today's topic, too. It's something I've thought about a lot myself, especially lately. We're going to talk about finding your purpose, but not in some grand, change-the-world kind of way. More like finding it in our everyday lives.
Exactly, Jenny. You hit the nail on the head. A lot of people think purpose has to be this huge, life-changing mission, like becoming a famous scientist or a peace activist. But for most of us, that's not our daily reality, is it? So, today, we want to explore how to see purpose in the small things, the ordinary moments.
That's right, because if we wait for that one big moment, we might miss out on a lot of joy and meaning along the way. So how about we start with our first main idea? What does purpose even mean in the context of everyday life, Tony?
Great question. For me, redefining purpose means understanding it's about making a positive impact, no matter how small, or finding meaning in what you do. It's not about being special or famous. It's about feeling that what you do matters, even if only to you or to your family or one other person.
I like that. Feeling that what you do matters. It could be something as simple as making your bed in the morning, right? You bring order to your space. Or taking care of your plants. That's a tiny act of creation and nurturing.
Absolutely. Or, for example, at work, you might not be curing a disease, but maybe you're making a customer's day easier, or you're helping your team work more smoothly. Even organizing your desk can give you a sense of purpose, a feeling of, I accomplished something here.
Yes, I totally get that. I used to think my purpose had to be something big, like writing a book or starting a huge charity. And sometimes I feel a bit, lost, because I wasn't doing those things. But then I started looking at my everyday life. For instance, making healthy meals for my family. It's not saving the world, but it contributes to their well-being, and that feels very purposeful to me.
That's a fantastic example, Jenny. It's about nourishing your loved ones. And that's incredibly meaningful. I think, for many of us, especially as English learners, our purpose might even be in the act of learning itself. Improving your English, for example, opens doors, connects you to new people. That's a purposeful journey, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Every new word learned, every conversation understood. It's a step towards something bigger, a more connected life. Okay, so our second point, which connects well with this, is about mindfulness and awareness. How does being mindful help us find purpose?
Mindfulness is key. It's about paying attention to the present moment, really noticing what you're doing and how you're feeling. When you're mindful, you can find joy or meaning in things you might otherwise rush through without thinking.
So instead of just drinking your coffee, you actually taste it? Or when you're walking outside, you really look at the trees and the sky instead of being lost in your thoughts?
Exactly. Imagine you're doing the dishes. It can feel like a chore, right? But if you focus on the warm water, the clean plates, the simple act of tidying up your home, it can become a moment of peace. Even a small act of self-care or care for your home. You're creating a clean, pleasant environment. That's a small purpose right there.
That's so true. I sometimes listen to music when I'm doing chores, and it helps me focus on the task and just be there. I remember once I was feeling a bit down, and I went for a walk in the park. Instead of listening to a podcast, I just listened to the birds, felt the sun, and for those 30 minutes, I felt a deep sense of connection to nature, and it lifted my spirits. It wasn't a big purpose, but it gave me a moment of clarity and joy.
Wow, that's beautiful, Jenny, and it shows how simple it can be. Mindfulness helps us appreciate the small gifts of life, which, in turn, can give our daily routine more meaning. It makes us realize that even a quiet moment of enjoying the sunset can be a purposeful act of connecting with beauty.
Definitely. Okay, moving on to our third point. How can we use our strengths and skills to find purpose? Because everyone has something they're good at, right?
Absolutely. Everyone has unique strengths, whether they realize it or not. Maybe you're a great listener, or you're very organized, or perhaps you're good at making people laugh. Think about how you can use these natural abilities in your daily life to bring a sense of purpose.
Like, if you're a good listener, maybe your purpose in a conversation is to make the other person feel heard and understood. That's a very valuable skill, and it makes a real difference to people.
Precisely. I have a friend who is incredibly organized. She loves planning things. Trips, parties, even just a day out. She used to think it was just a hobby, but now she helps her friends organize their lives. She even helped me organize my messy bookshelf last week. She finds real joy and purpose in helping others bring order to their chaos.
That's amazing. It's like her superpower, and she's using it for good. For me, I enjoy writing. Not professionally, but I love writing little notes to my kids or sending thoughtful emails to friends. It's a small way to connect and express care. And that makes me feel like I'm using a part of myself that feels good.
That's lovely, Jenny. It's about leveraging your natural inclinations. Maybe you're good at cooking, so you find purpose in preparing delicious meals for others. Or you're good with numbers, and you help a friend understand their budget. These aren't big, grand actions, but they use your unique abilities to create value and connection.
Yeah, it's like a puzzle piece. When you use your strengths, it just fits, and it feels right. Okay, let's talk about our fourth point. How do our actions impact others, even in small ways? This really relates to the purpose idea.
This is a big one for me, Jenny. Many times, our purpose comes from how we affect the people around us. A simple act of kindness, a smile, holding a door open, saying thank you sincerely. These seem small, but they create a ripple effect.
Oh, absolutely. I remember once I was having a really bad day, and I dropped my groceries, and someone just immediately came over and helped me pick everything up, without even asking. They didn't say much, just smiled and helped. It changed my whole day. It reminded me that there's good in the world.
See? That person probably didn't think I'm fulfilling my life's purpose by helping the stranger, but they were. They made a positive impact. And that's what we're talking about. In our daily lives, we have so many chances to do this. A kind word to a colleague, letting someone go ahead of you in line, donating a small amount to a local charity.
I completely agree. Sometimes I try to make a conscious effort to compliment someone, even if it's just, I like your jacket, or that was a great idea in the meeting. It takes 2 seconds, but it can brighten someone's day. And when you see their face light up, that feels very purposeful.
It really does, and it's not just about direct interaction. If you keep your shared workspace tidy, for example, you're helping everyone else feel more comfortable and productive. It's a silent act of support that contributes to a better environment for others. And that contributes to your sense of purpose.
Wow, that's a great point. It makes me think about how much we are all connected. Every little action can create a positive chain reaction. Okay, let's move to our last main point, which I think is super important. Embracing imperfection and learning. How does this fit into finding purpose?
This is vital, Jenny. Finding purpose isn't a one-time event. It's a journey. And like any journey, there will be bumps and wrong turns. Embracing imperfection means accepting that you won't always get it right, and that's perfectly okay. It's about learning from mistakes and growing.
So, if you try something new and it doesn't work out perfectly, you don't give up. You learn from it and try again, or try something different.
Exactly. Let's say you decide your purpose is to be a more supportive friend, and you try to offer advice, but it comes out wrong. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm bad at this, you reflect, maybe I should listen more next time, or ask what they need instead of giving advice. That process of reflection and adjustment is where real growth happens, and growth itself can be a powerful purpose.
That makes so much sense. I used to think that finding my purpose meant finding, quote, the perfect thing and sticking to it forever. But life changes. We change. My purpose 5 years ago might be different from my purpose today. For example, I started learning to draw last year. And oh my goodness, my first drawings were, let's just say they were unique.
I can imagine. Mine too.
But I didn't stop. I kept trying, watching videos, practicing. And even though I'm still not an expert, the purpose for me is in the act of learning, of improving, of creating something new. It's about the journey of becoming better, not just the final perfect picture.
That's a fantastic example, Jenny. It shows that purpose can be found in the ongoing process of self-improvement and exploration. It's about being curious, trying new things, and being kind to yourself when things don't go as planned. Every step, every attempt, even every mistake is part of your unique story and journey of finding meaning.
Yes, it's liberating to think that purpose isn't a fixed destination, but a way of living. So, to wrap up, Tony, what are some key takeaways you'd like our listeners to remember from today's conversation?
Great question, Jenny. First, remember that purpose is everywhere, not just for grand gestures. Look for it in your daily routines, in the small acts of kindness, in the simple moments of quiet joy. It's accessible to everyone, every single day.
And second, I'd say start small and be mindful. Pay attention to what you're doing, what makes you feel good, what brings you a sense of accomplishment or connection. Even 5 minutes of focused attention on a task or a natural moment can reveal a deeper meaning.
Absolutely. And my third takeaway would be use your unique strengths. Think about what you're naturally good at, even if it seems small. How can you use that skill to help others, to bring order, to create beauty, or simply to connect? That's a powerful way to find your why.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Tony, for this inspiring conversation. I feel like I've got some new ways to look at my own day-to-day life.
My pleasure, Jenny, and thank you to all our listeners for joining us on Learning English with Podcast Conversation. We hope this episode helps you feel more connected to your own purpose, wherever you are. Remember, every day is an opportunity to find meaning.
Yes, keep practicing your English and keep looking for those wonderful moments of purpose. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our channel, Learning English with Podcast Conversation, and share it with your friends. We love hearing from you.
That's right. Send us your thoughts on finding purpose in everyday life. We'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, take care and keep learning.
Bye, everyone. See you next time.